So as I was mentioned before, my dad has always said to me, son, do your work early, do your work early. So in a position like this, where you have to do your work early, this guy is going to get in front of number 51 and make the catch very difficult. So this is like a 3/4 stance he's in, and then he just swim moves and goes and gets the ball. So you can't necessarily allow a big to make contact with you. This goes back to what we talked about in the community before. So remember the advantages that we've talked about? What advantage does this guard have on this big out of the 4 different advantage types we talk about?
Vertical. No, horizontal.
Horizontal, right? So it's a horizontal advantage. You can use that on offense and you can use it on defense. So he's quicker than that big. So instead of bullying him, who here is just for obviously you can't show your hands, but who here has who here has ever tried to get into a battle with a big and be like, all right, I'm gonna be super physical with you? Yeah, everybody probably has, right? Because you try to, all right, let me be physical. And then you realize, oh, shoot, like, nah, dude is a lot stronger than me. I really have no reason to do this. So in this situation, you use your mind and you say, okay, I'm quicker than this guy. I'm not going to let him make contact. I'm going to fight him off this way. He's not going to hit me. And because of that, I'm going to use my quickness to swim move and go get the ball. Think about this in March Madness. These players are going to be sped up. These players are going to be overwhelmed. There's going to be a whole lot going on. They'll be like, okay, shoot, I'm on the court, first time playing in front of all these people, big stakes and all that stuff. You can slow down, you can calm your mind, and just use your advantages and think the game. That's very, very, very important. Gets the steal. Let's look at it this way. Again, this is why I like a behind the back so much in this situation instead of a crossover. Behind the back or between the legs. But in a situation like this, behind the back is so much better because you don't risk this. And as a defender, something I want you all to do is realize if you can have a hand low like this and the ball is in the defender in the offensive player's hand that way, if they cross over and you've watched the film and you watch what it is that they like to do, you see they don't do a lot of behind the backs when bringing the ball up. You can see that in transition, if they're bringing the ball up, they're going to do a crossover and you just hold your hand right there and you wait. And you wait. You make it uncomfortable for them. If they don't put the ball in your hands, they could potentially do a move they're not comfortable with and turn the ball over themselves. But it's all because you thought the game before it was going to happen and you put yourself in a position to succeed. Does that make sense? Yeah? I can't see you guys.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yes, it makes sense.
Yeah, cool. He gets up on the rim again, dunks on big fella. Hey! All right, let's break down this coverage. What's this coverage? I got to see it myself too. Y'all know what that coverage is?
I'm not sure. I'm not completely sure, but is it a drop?
No, I don't think it was a drop. Any other guesses?
He's forcing him sideline.
It could potentially be an ice, right? It could potentially be an ice. It could potentially
It's
be
like a hedge because they don't want him to drive.
Bingo. I think it's a hedge, but I think it's a very bad hedge.
He's late and he's like doesn't even try.
No, but there's something else. It's the main thing is that the big here I keep picking on 51. He's indecisive. He's indecisive. This is why it's so important on the court to make a decision and stick with the decision. I don't care what the decision is. I'd rather you be all in than I don't know what to do. This number 51, he doesn't know if he wants. If they're in a blitz, what needs to happen? They need to smother him and make sure this guy picks the ball up. Okay, they're not doing that. If he's in a hedge, he needs to make sure he doesn't get a drive and get back to his man and be yelling at number 10, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. You're square up, right? But look what he does. He's like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. Do I go in? And he stays there. And because of that, because he doesn't fully commit, other people have to rotate. And now number 5 is open. It's like a quarterback, right? Let's look at number 5. Tyler Tanner, let's look at him like a quarterback. Think about how much space and room he has to make this pass right here. He wasn't pressured. He was just contained. So imagine you're playing football and there's and Tyler Tanner's a quarterback. And he's not being rushed and blitzed and they're not trying to tackle him. They're just standing around him to make him uncomfortable. A quarterback, a really good quarterback, is still going to have time to sit in the pocket and just look. Because that's what blockers are supposed to do. They're supposed to contain, right? And prevent them from getting the quarterback. Okay? So it's literally like the defensive players aren't going to blitz him. They're not going to pressure him enough to make him not have to throw a pass. They're just going to be there. oh, I don't want to fully commit. I just want to make you uncomfortable enough to let you know that I'm here. That's not good enough in this situation. He has so much time to be able to throw a one-handed pass across the court right here. And look at everybody ball watching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All 5 guys in white are ball watching right now. Skip pass. Pass wasn't even on the money. Let's see. I'm not hating on it. I mean, it worked out. It's an assist. That pass needs to be here instead of all the way over here because he has to take steps to it. Still knocks it down. They run that same type of action. I think they're icing. I haven't watched this game live, but I think they're icing over there. Swing, swing, one more in the corner. So in a situation like this, I was watching this at the Heat game last night. Pros know that other people are open before anybody else does. Okay? So in a situation like this, balls here, they're in rotation mode. What we even call this is, what's the term that we use within the community? I've said this before. What mode are they in as a defense? Y'all remember? It's a type of way you make your eggs.
Scrambled.
Bingo. Scramble mode. They're in scramble mode. They're trying to figure, okay, where are we? Where are we? This is why communication is so important, to get out of scramble mode and get matched up again. Okay? So look, swing, swing, swing. They do the right thing and throw the ball. This can be quicker. Do you all see how they low-key hesitate sometimes? It could be swing, swing. They do a good job of swinging the ball around. It could be a little bit faster, just microseconds. I don't know if that's the guy who he got the steal on in the first half, but that's something to think about, as we mentioned. There's 51 with the foul again. I keep throwing shade at 51. 51, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, dude. Let's look at this. So remember what I said about hand placement before, right? I don't know if that's the same guy, but maybe he was uncomfortable making a push cross. Maybe he's used to making a low cross. And now that he had his hand low, dude's like, all right, I don't want to get plucked again. I'm going to throw in a push cross. And now because of that, he plucks him and rips him and is able to get a steal. And this is another thing to mention here. So you'll see this in a lot of other levels of basketball, especially your levels of basketball as players. Do you think, be honest, you can answer this for yourselves or maybe another one of your teammates. Do you think your teammate would hold space and be here in the corner, or do you think he would try to creep in and try to get the ball?
Creep in.
Yeah.
Hold space.
You think he'd hold space, Thiago?
Yeah.
Scotty, what about you?
I would say depending on the guy.
Depending on the guy, right? So a professional, and I've done this before, I've creeped in when I was younger. I was like, all right, let me creep in and try to get closer to the ball. No. What you need to do is stay spaced all the way over here, because when you're spaced, they can't guard you. And they're going to be in scramble mode again when they're going here, and then you swing and swing and swing. Probably not in this situation because everybody is so tightly close to one another. I'd probably have this guy all the way out here. He doesn't look like a shooter, so that's why he's in the dunker spot. Number 7 is not a big, so he shouldn't be there in the first place, in my opinion. He's probably cutting through. But that it just, you got to hold space. 10 does a good job, and he actually relocates to the right place. So if 10 was actually at the top of the key, he would be in the wrong space. Why? And
Is it because of the 2 guys behind the ball?
Bingo, right? This guy wouldn't be able to pass the ball to number 10. He can't pass it through somebody. You'd have to pass it over the top, and it looks like number 9 has really long arms, okay? So he has to move down and get available for the passer. Number 3 is in the right spot. He can even be a bit lower, in my opinion. I don't think 21 is going to get his hands up in time, but he could be doing the right thing, too, by spacing up. Great closeout. It was late. As a big, that's a really good closeout. Shot, knockdown. All right, so this is Nebraska. I don't like Nebraska's defense. I know they won the game, but again, what are they in right now? It's a weird show. Bucket, you can argue that Vandy should have won this game. So let's see this. All right. What does number 5 do in the corner? Is it a pull or push?
Pull.
That's a pull. Technically, he lifts
Well,
up.
he comes
It's a
close.
lift. It's like a lift. So there's different terms. You have a pull, push, lift, different things you may see. This is more, he lifts out the corner. Pull would be on a drive specifically, but I just want you thinking about it in different spots. Somebody will call, some people will call it a shake. You shake down. I think it's shake is down. There's different terminologies on NBA teams. All right, so that was the last play of the game. Let's go back here. He gets by him this way, attacks, and this is why it's so important to be able to handle the ball and keep your eyes up and look at what's happening in front of you. You have number 51 right here. I keep throwing shade at number 51. but he's not even looking at the play, right? Number Tyler Tanner sees that. He drives right, and he goes right at his chest, right? And again, believe it or not, do you think Tyler Tanner has a vertical advantage against this guy?
Yes.
He does. Would anybody disagree with that? No? Okay. Yeah, he's more athletic than him, right? So he goes at his chest. And again, number 51 walls up, which is the correct thing to do. But as you wall up, you can't just wall up and jump vertically and allow somebody to hit you, right? I know that's technically what you're supposed to do, but you low key have to jump forward as well. Because if you don't jump forward and you jump backwards, you push your momentum this way, somebody hits you, and then you get dunked on. And it's not bad that you get dunked on, but it's just technique in terms of being able to contest at the rim.